fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful laws and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, we had Izuki Midoriya. She has gone down to the docks to try and find the Winter Soldier. She heard about a hit that was going to be carried out on him, and just as quickly as that information appeared, it vanished. Luckily, she was able to download it onto a file. And she is currently, well, there. She found out that the Black Widow squad, or people she was familiar with, were sent to kill the Winter Soldier. And she got into a fistfight with somebody she did know from the Red Room. Now, along with that person did actually bite and cause injury to her face, unluckily getting blood in their mouth, before they did die of poisoning. Now, Izuki grabbed their belt, comm system, and I believe I said many other things. Now then, with that being said, we do have Izuki in the passenger seat, as she actually has put this comm piece into her left ear, as the soldier is still driving, him using his left hand, or his robotic arm, as he actually does look into the back seat with his right arm, somewhat flinching in pain. Izuki taking notice of this and telling him just to keep driving. Alright then. Look back there. Why? Most likely we're not going to be getting out of here easily. If they knew I was down here, then they must know I may have a vehicle nearby. So, they're probably going to chase us. Alright. Now, Izuki actually does bring her finger up to her ear and turn on the comm piece. Now, there actually is a very high-pitched sound. Izuki pulling it out of her ear quickly and trying to at least listen in on what's going on. The soldier asking exactly what the hell is she doing. Her bringing the piece up to his right ear and realizing that this is a feedback. So, him actually just grabbing the piece and quickly doing one thing. Tapping down on it and seeing if he can switch over to different comm systems, or at least mess with the settings on it. Now, as soon as he does do that, he tells her to try it now, as she actually does grab it and bring it up back into her ear, beginning to mess with it more before she actually does hear something in Russian. Now, she actually does reach into the back seat, and as soon as she does actually look behind them, you do see multiple vehicles. Now, the soldier just ran through a red light, and Izuki actually did take notice of this, asking exactly what is he doing. Please. We're being chased. Yes, well, we could at least go a bit more undercover. Oh, really? And what would you think about Russian super assassins? Do you really think they would go undercover? Especially back there? Fair point. Her grabbing a machine gun. Or let's say an AR, well, an AR. I was going to say an AR-10, but I want to say an AR-15. I believe those two have the same magazine capacity. Or, sorry. I'm getting distracted by firearms. Anyways, now. With that being said, she does grab the weapon and bring it into the front seat, before reaching into a bag and grabbing out more pistols, beginning to set some on the dash. And the Winter Soldier actually does look to his right, seeing her do that. Now, the bikes that are chasing them quickly begin to catch up, as one of them actually does get very close. As soon as that has happened, they immediately grab a firearm or, let's say, a weapon from their side, bringing it up with one hand and beginning to fire. Now, the soldier, he just immediately spins the car to the right and onto the sidewalk, before quickly swerving to the left, them nearly hitting a tree and flying into the intersection. As if it was a four-way stop or a four-way intersection, they would have spun down through the left. And the bike, it actually does begin to receive fire. Izuki holding herself out the window and holding onto the seatbelt, wrapping it around her arm as she does actually bring up her left hand and begin to fire. Now, with that, Izuki is firing upon the bike, as many others begin to join in. Now, the Winter Soldier takes a hard right, Izuki being flung into the top of the car, before she actually sees somebody on her right, swinging the gun around and beginning to fire at them. Izuki quickly jumping back in the car as they fire at her. Now, she actually does eject the mag, and quickly look for another one. Now, he simply just holds one up as she actually does grab it from his hand and throw it back into the gun, and immediately throw herself back out the window, before firing once more. Now, with that being said, the bikes quickly begin to catch up, and the soldier actually does see this, telling her to hang on. Now, the bikes that were getting on them, they suddenly get a whole lot closer. As the Winter Soldier, he slams down on the brake. Now, as soon as that does happen, Izuki's arm that is caught in the seatbelts, it actually does jerk backwards before she does actually feel it hardly stop. Her left side actually being thrown further out of the car, as two bikes smash into the back of their vehicle. The Winter Soldier bringing up his hand and being able to punch somebody with his metal arm. Them being killed from the sheer impact of going roughly around 70 miles and being hit by the force of a metallic arm. As Izuki, using the rifle in her hand, actually spin it around. And using it, she basically jabs it into a bike helmet. As the person, they actually do, well, the butt of the gun actually just hit Izuki in her forearm, or around her elbow. And as soon as that does happen, the person gets sent moving forwards with the bike, as the bike goes out of control and the person gets sent flying. Now, Izuki actually has climbed back into the car, unrolling her right arm, as she actually does bring her right arm up and inspect her left arm. The Winter Soldier quickly beginning to speed off, telling her that that was actually quite impressive. Don't get your hopes up. Besides, do you think we lost him? I don't know. How many was that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to say we're at about 7 or 8. You don't know. I can't be accurate. Besides, the way they're fighting, it's not natural. Would this have happened to me if I stayed? Probably not. Don't dwell on it. Now, this is whenever they actually do continue driving. And they actually do make a small stop. Them pulling into a parking garage as they do look around for a new vehicle. Now then, the Winter Soldier actually does find a car that might be a bit more interesting. It is at least an SUV, and should provide them some better cover. Now, he actually does do one thing, bring up his left arm and pulling the door. As soon as that does happen, he actually does find that he ripped the lock clear out of the car, and the car actually does begin to beep loudly. Him reaching underneath the dash and pulling out some wires, attempting to hotwire it. After a few seconds of trying, Izuki steps in his way, basically pulling him back from it and reaching underneath the dash. As within 3 seconds, she's able to get the car started, and the alarm stops. Him actually looking at her a bit more impressed. And he does walk back over to the car, grabbing the bags of weapons in the back seat, and actually reaching into the trunk. As soon as he does actually do that, he grabs what could be a container of clothes and another bag. Izuki's not too sure what exactly is inside these 2 bags. However, they might be useful. Her bringing her hand up and trying to listen on the comms. They've been quiet for a few minutes. Her actually deciding to try and flip through another channel. As she actually does so, flipping through multiple channels. This channel's clear, this channel's clear, this channel's clear. Now, as soon as that does happen, the Winter Soldier actually just walk around to the passenger seats and hop in. Izuki actually getting in the driver's seat as they do take off. Now, she does ask him exactly what was he doing, as he does actually hold up his left hand. Her confused. Why is he giving her a thumbs up? Him pressing down onto a detonator as that car explodes. Now, this was quite interesting, as she actually does pull up her mask, asking him exactly what was that all about. Knowing the Widow Project, they would have inspected the car, right? Along with that, even if police do find it, that car was stolen. So, no evidence. Winter Soldier. A ghost. That's how we operate. Okay, good. Anyways, I'm guessing they recalled everyone. What are you talking about? Well, I'm thinking. We've dealt with multiple widows. If my counts are right, then we dealt with at least 2/3 of them. Even if they're not, they might have retreated. What do you mean? Well, usually the widow's tactics are easy. If we can't take out our target alone, we get help, or request for backup. Even then, multiple things do happen. Either we send in someone bigger, or we send in a larger force. At least that's how it was back in Russia. Now, Izuki actually just hop onto the highway and drive around for a minute. The two driving around for 2 hours before they do realize that the coast is all clear. Izuki taking the earpiece off and handing it to the soldier. Him taking it and quickly understanding what she's talking about. Without even speaking a word, he opens it up and takes a small drive out of it, or at least the hardware within it, tossing the rest away. Now then, with that, they do eventually get back to Izuki's hideout, you can call it. And she actually does pull the car inside, before pulling the garage closed and locking it, before actually setting her trap. Now, the soldier is actually a bit more impressed, and he actually does get up, out of the car, going to grab his bags. Now, he does say that that was a little fun. Even then, they're not really working together now. This was a one-time thing. Now, with that, he actually does bring his left arm up and inspect the area of his wound. Izuki calling that thing a bleeder. asking if he would like a little bit of help with that. Sure. Hopefully this isn't a track around, otherwise I'm going to leave this place again. I doubt it. They're trying to kill you. Even if a track around gets put in your head, they're not lethal. I've heard stories of someone surviving one. Sounds brutal. It was. Now, this is whenever the Winter Soldier actually does walk over and set down his bags, opening one and pulling out a medkit. As he actually does go to tear off the area that is covered in blood. Now, Izuki, she actually does get to work, quickly beginning the process of removing the bullets and sanitizing the wounds. Now, the Winter Soldier actually does reach into the medkit and grab a syringe, as he actually does bring it up to his arm and inject it into a vein. Her asking exactly what was that. Think of it like medical grade anesthetic. Well, I can tell that it wasn't anything I've seen in a medical facility. That's because it's not. It's whiskey. Old school, but it still does work. Yep. Anyways. Give me a minute. Now. She successfully gets the bullet out of his arm, or the back of his shoulder blade, at the top part. And ask him about exactly when's this gonna heal. Now. The two do go back and forth on some things, talking about different information, and finding it to be quite interesting. Now, the Winter Soldier does learn that she does have the laptop of the director of the Red Room at her facility. And he does find this to be some interesting information. Now, he actually does ask Izuki if she's even really uncovered anything on this laptop. Well, I found your facility, right? Whatever. Either way, let me at least take a look. Now, he's looking on the laptop, as Izuki is actually sewing up his wound. Now, some of the things he is seeing on here do look familiar to him. Or does at least seem like information he's heard whispers about. Now, this is whenever he actually does, after getting his wound sewn up, turn around. And he does actually go to reach for something to clean off Izuki's face. Now, he does actually hand it to her and tell her that she needs to clean that. Bites from a person usually do tend to get infected. Her being to wipe it off, saying that she's aware. However, the poisons in her blood do kill the bacteria. Your quirk's pretty deadly. One drop of blood and it kills a person. Am I right? Not really. Blood, sweat, saliva, you name it. I believe that most of my body fluids might be able to kill somebody. However, my hair, well, that's a different story. I wasn't born in Russia. I'm actually, well, technically the child of foreigners to Russia. My parents used to live here. In fact, this weird mutation for my hair is part of my quirk. Alright then, he says, as he actually does grab some medical gauze, and at least somewhat of a big bandage. Now, he's trying to make the distinction. A band-aid wouldn't really cover that. Some medical gauze, that would cover it, but it would probably obscure her vision. Her just taking the gauze from his hand and wrapping it around the area. having to cover one of her eyes. Now, she does actually reach down into the medkit, pulling out some scissors and beginning to slowly cut out an area around, so that she can at least see before patting down on the area. Now, he does actually find that to be quite interesting. Alrighty then. Well then, widow. If that even is your real name. It's not. Figured. Anyways, I should get going. Thanks for the save. Him beginning to walk away. Her actually asks him one simple question before he does leave. What exactly is your name? My name? Why do you want to know? Well, let's see. The Red Room is after you, and like I did say before, whenever we first met, I'm not with them. I think tonight does prove that. Even then, with you, they want to kill you. You know something that you're not telling me, and I want to take them all down. Destroy this entire worldwide project. So, it appears that we might be able to make a deal or an arrangement. Might I even say an alliance? What? Kill 2 of your friends tonight and think I'll trust you? No. You'd have to do a lot better than that. In fact, if you do want to gain my trust, I do have something I would need your help with. Okay, exactly what would that be? Well, I'll give you a phone number. Expect a call from it soon. Even then, thanks for the help, widow. Her saying that her name is Izuki Midoriya. And he actually does stop, asking her exactly why would she tell him that. Easy. I have a good judgment of character. And you were not going to come after me. In fact, you were expecting this, weren't you? Don't be so naive. Anyways, Izuki Midoriya. Good name. Whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna get going. Now, Izuki actually has asked his name, as he actually has turn, saying she can just call him Shin. How about that for now? Okay. Now, she does actually watch him stumble away and leave, as she does actually begin to piece everything together about the Red Room and multiple things that were happening. Now, with all that being said, I do believe that I can leave this part off of here, and I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.